of what we're working on,
Mhm.
and then I will share my screen. Actually, I don't remember. We might be able to do dual sharing. I haven't done this. I haven't done a lesson where I've screen shared in a while with both me and the student. But let me go back to my screen here. So share screen. All right. Okay. So just to give you an idea, I do recommend you take notes, but that's completely up to you. You're an
Yeah,
adult
I have
now.
my notebook in front of me, so.
But you can do whatever you want. You're an adult. So,
Yeah, well, I'll read the notes and the
yeah.
help, so that's fine.
All right. So the first one here says F bubble, or it's really composition, but I like referring to it as a bubble of f of x. And we're going to go back, and there's f of x. So what this means, and it's a little bit awkward when you do it within itself, it says take this thing right here and put it back in for x.
Right.
Okay. So you're going to literally go x squared minus 8 squared minus 8. Okay. Now it does say to simplify as much as possible. And like this what's here is correct, but it wants you to probably FOIL. So just come down here and rewrite that x squared minus 8, x squared minus 8, minus 8, like that. And then you do have to FOIL it. Do you remember that from a previous class?
Yes.
Okay, so it's x squared times x squared, that's x to the fourth. X squared times minus 8 minus 8x squared, minus 8x squared for the inner, and then the last is plus 64 minus 8, bring that down. So most important thing with Alex, you probably figured this out already, is to be very careful how you enter your answers, because it wants you to get a certain number and correct in a row, whether it's 2 or 3 to move on. So just be careful with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your first box there. Now the second one is kind of the same thing. It's really g of x. I kind of prefer this notation. I think it's a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
And it's the same idea here. You're going to take that x over 9, and you're gonna plug it back in wherever you see an x.
Okay.
So it's taking the place of that. So it's x over 9 over 9, like that. And that's correct, but not simplified. Now, are your exams in Alex, or your tests, or
they're in Alex.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to see a similar problem to this, and you got to be able to work it out when that time comes. So to finish off this part of the question, whenever you have a fraction, whenever you have a fraction in the numerator, like you've got here, you multiply the denominator. You want to get, yeah, and it's just gonna be 1 over 9, 1 over 9. Some students know just to move the 9 up. However you want to do it, you got to get 1 on the bottom. It becomes x over 81 over 1, and anything divided by 1 is just itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, I would recommend entering that in, making sure it's correct, and then share your screen whenever you're ready, and we'll go on to another problem here.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll share my screen again.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, and then this is the next problem.
Okay, very good. Let me grab a snip of this and we'll work through it. So this is a 3 in a row section.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep that in mind here. It becomes more important as we go that you get the answer correct.
Yeah, that's where I keep kind of getting stuck. I don't really like using Alex, because like you get one right, you get one wrong, you get one right, and it's just an up and down thing.
Yes. It's tough in that regard. You really gotta be, get them all right. And then they throw in a little different one at the end, and you miss it. So
right.
All right. So now for the first one here, f of x. That's what it means when there's two f's together or two g's together. So you take that 7 over x, and you plug it back in wherever there's an x.
Okay.
So it's like nest. They call it nesting inside. But for you, in terms of what you're doing, you're gonna just replace wherever you see an x with the same function. Yeah. Now again, this is correct, but it's not simplified. So you multiply the top and bottom by the reciprocal.
Which is
So your final answer for that first box
wait,
is
where is the 9 coming from?
good question. From the previous problem one.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Let me so that is all right, so we got it just is x. And the idea here is that they're inverses of each other.
Okay.
That's why well, no, I'm sorry, that's not, forget that I said that. We'll get to that in another lesson probably. Okay. So if you agree it's just x, and then g of x, that's the second one, that's the bubble there. You take that x squared minus 4, but you put it back in for x. And if there was more than one x, you would put it in for more than that one place.
Okay.
Wherever you see an x, you replace it. Yes, again, you're foiling.
X.
And that's your second.
I got the same one. Yeah, perfect.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I'll share my screen one more time.
Awesome. Have you decided on a major yet?
Yeah, I'm doing digital marketing.
Oh, cool. This is completely unrelated to that. So
I know, and that's the frustrating part because I just want to pass and get through this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in that digital world right now. That's really cool. But this is completely unrelated. Okay, so let me go back and share my screen. If I ever am not sharing my screen, I do on occasion mess that up. So just let me know if you're not seeing or anything's unclear. So again, just kind of the same thing. We've already done a bunch of these. That first one, g of x, you're going to take that x squared plus 2 and put it back in for x.
Right.
And you do have to FOIL. If you notice, I've been writing it out each time. That's just a good way to remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well right now.
To actually FOIL it and then you know, not make some careless mistake, because there's hard for any partial credit on these.
Exactly.
Although I do think they give you well, that's probably on the quizzes. I remember they give you like a second attempt where they just have you do the ones you got wrong. Depending on your instructor.
Yeah, in my class, unfortunately, he doesn't do it that way, which is frustrating.
Okay.
Yeah. And why is it +6 at the end? Oh, because of 4 + 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You gotta that.
I forgot to add that too there. There we go.
Yeah.
6. Okay, yep, I got that same first
Great.
answer.
And then the same thing for the next one. You're putting that 5/3 x in for x. So it's a little, it could be a little odd. It's just, you gotta write it out. Just make sure that's actually what you think you're supposed to be writing out. It's always good to rewrite fractions with, or the fractions inside a fraction with denominators. You multiply the top, multiply the bottom, so you get, and then multiply by the reciprocal.
And then it's just x because the 15 and 15 cancel out.
Yeah, exactly. And if you need to, you can start writing it, you know, as 5/1 in the top, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll share my screen again. Trying to find one that I get stuck on. Because these like little ones with the stars here are just like the review ones.
Understood. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
take advantage of the help here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I guess it's these ones, it's like a 3-parter.
Yep.
And I
Nope.
guess, yeah.
I've seen this course. You wouldn't want to even know how many times I've seen it. So
Oh wow, okay, perfect. That's good.
yeah, there's you know, I think you just start.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I understand how to do like 2 of these and I get stuck on, I think it's
Yeah.
like this one.
So
Or
the University of Arizona also uses this,
um,
Alex, for their like college algebra stuff. So a lot of students need this.
yeah. Yeah.
And all right. So let me share my screen here. All right. So G inverse of 0. What you do is you look for where the y value is 0.
0, right? And so
So
the answer is just 6.
That's correct. For the next one, you have to actually follow a recipe here for this h of x.
Mhm.
So the recipe is, it's a set of steps. You write y equals 4x plus 3. You switch
The x's and y's.
x and the y. Yeah. Now, if there's more than one x, there's more than one y. We don't see that quite yet. But then you solve for y,
Mhm.
and you're gonna subtract 3 from both sides,
Yes.
and then you're gonna divide by 4. And I've skipped a little bit of steps there, but that is your answer there for that middle one.
Yeah, I see what you did. Yeah, those 2 are easy. I think it's just this last one that I get stuck on.
Yeah, so we're going to work through it, even though there is a shortcut here. So this last one means h inverse of h of minus 3. So you first need to figure out what is h of minus 3. So we're going back to the function there. 4 times minus 3 plus 3, which is minus 12 plus 3, which is minus 9. Okay, that's part 1 though. That's not the answer. Part 2 of it is you take the result here, and you use it in h inverse. So you want to find h inverse of minus 9. And that's actually what we have over here.
Right.
So you're plugging that into the other equation, and you get minus 12 over 4, which is, wouldn't you know it, minus 3.
Right.
So is the answer always the number? Yes. I believe it always is, but we
you still have to do the steps to make
well,
sure.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but like, that's the whole point of this class. But I mean, you're not going to go into math, you're going into digital marketing. So if you want to remember that it's just minus 3 or whatever that number is, that's fine too.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I guess that just makes things more complicated, I guess, doing all that work just to type in the same answer.
Yes. It's because the inverse of the thing is the number. It's a math axiom, which you don't care about. I don't even care about, but it's it's just one of those things that it's a shortcut.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I can try the next one. These ones aren't so bad.
Yeah. Why don't you try? So for letter A, why don't you try letter A on your own? I'm still going to share my screen. I'm still going to work through it with you, but why don't you try it first?
Yes.
And this is the interactive part of it where you do a little bit on your own.
Right.
And then we'll look at it together here.
It's just okay.
You have an answer for this one?
For the first one, I got 5, assuming if x is like 0
You're talking about for G inverse?
for the G inverse, yeah.
Okay, so that's a function. That's a function.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes,
So
I
you have-
got the, yeah, I
so you have
got
to-
that equation.
Okay, you got that equation. You got minus 5x minus 8. You
Yeah.
do have to work it out.
Mhm.
Just to figure that out. So you do use that in the next one here. So this says G of G inverse of minus 2. That's what the composition thing means. You always start with the inside one. So
Okay.
G inverse of minus 2, you use that function you just found. That's why you've got to find it. But we know the shortcut, but let's just take a look one more time before we jump to conclusions here on it. So it's minus 5 times minus 2 minus 8. So that's 10 minus 8,
Mhm.
which is 2. Okay, but that's not our answer. That's the output of G inverse. And then you go back to G of 2,
Mhm.
use that as the input. The output becomes the input. And you got minus 2 minus 8 over 5, which is minus 10 over 5, which is,
Negative.
when you know it, minus 2. So
Mhm.
yes, you can for sure use that shortcut. How about the last one there? Looking at this,
The last one there, the answer is -8.
that's correct.
Okay, I got that. And I'll share one more time.
So we're going to go till about 4:30. This is just like a try it out lesson to see if
Right.
you like it, and I hope you do. And then I'll give you some information on scheduling.
Right, yeah.
But we'll just keep going and do as much as we can in the time we've got.
Mhm. Right.
All right, so let me grab a snip of this. So, okay, so one of the things you notice here about Alex, and I'm not sharing yet, is I would do it in the order that you are most comfortable in, which
Mhm.
may mean doing the one with the numbers first,
Yeah.
like you just did there,
Right.
because they do switch that up, on these problems. So that is
It's
that's
confusing.
4.
It's 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one is -2. We already know that because we've
Right.
done enough of those. We've done 2 now. We're pretty convinced. Now this one right here, this is the big one. This is the one, you got to switch X and Y. Now they do get more difficult a little bit later in the course.
Mhm.
So you want to be really comfortable with what it is that you're doing, switching X and Y, and then you're solving for Y.
Right.
So you got X minus 3 equals 2Y, divide by 2.
Y equals x minus 3 over 2.
Yeah.
Yep, we got that. That's okay. Yeah, this is actually much easier than I thought. Just needed a little bit of guidance.
Yes, and that's what I'm here for. I mean, it's we can do problems the entire hour lesson. They're actually
Right.
50 minutes, but
Mhm.
it's totally up to you. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, these are going to be like your test and quiz. So you have to know how to do them if you want
Yeah,
a good grade.
exactly. And that's why, yeah, I simply just needed help with someone helping me get through the topics, because that's definitely
Yes.
where I get stuck.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
So
Yeah, I'll share one more
Yeah.
time.
and I wish there was, these aren't that interesting. Sometimes I can give you some like context for these problems, but there's not much here. There's just, it's just stuff you've done many times before. Okay. Is there, go ahead and start whenever you're ready on that.
Yeah.
All right, so there is a lot here. Let me grab, oh no, it's just use the graph. Okay, you're not making the graph.
Yeah.
All right, let me grab it here. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, it says to use the graph to complete the following. Find all x-intercepts and y-intercepts. So as a reminder, x-intercepts are where it crosses the x-axis or touches, but most of the time we're looking for that. So there's one right there. Boom. So it wants the x coordinate, which is at -1.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, now let me switch colors here. Sorry, it's red. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis.
So it's -2.
Yes, right there.
Mhm.
Now, this is important, is there's only ever one y-intercept. There's only one y-intercept. There could be more than one x in it.
X-intercept.
Yeah. Okay, now back to a different color here. So your vertical asymptotes are
Mhm.
always x equals a number.
Mhm.
In this case, it's x equals -2
Mhm.
because that's the one that goes up and down. Those are
Yeah,
the
right.
verticals. And then for horizontal, it's always y equals a number. In this
Mhm.
case, it's the y equals -4.
-4.
And it wants the whole equation. So you have to actually write in y equals -4 and x equals -2,
2, yeah.
not just the number. Okay, that's part A and B.
Mhm.
Okay, so the domain are the x values that are okay.
Mhm.
And the restrictions you're looking for are the vertical asymptotes. So that vertical asymptote breaks it up.
Okay.
So it always starts out at -infinity. It goes to, if you have one vertical asymptote, in this case, it goes right there. And then
Yeah.
you just keep going the other direction.
To positive.
There's a little bit more information I can give you about domain, but we'll keep it like that.
Mhm.
Simple for now. It's left to right.
Mhm.
And then the range, you're looking at the y values. And the horizontal asymptote create the breaks in this one for the most part. So again, you start at -infinity. These are bottom to top. You go to -4. That's that horizontal asymptote there.
Mhm.
-4 to positive infinity. Just be very careful. You get those parentheses in the right place. There's a lot of things to enter in this one. I'm happy to
Right.
even look at your screen if you need me to before submitting.
Yeah.
But just be careful. Actually, in the first one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the second and third where you gotta
You gotta
really,
be extra careful.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally got it. It's not letting me type Y for the horizontal asymptote, which is weird. Oh, here, let me try this thing. Oh no, might be could be the program. That's weird.
Let me, if you need me to look at something, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I'm just pressed here. I'll share my screen, but yeah, I'm pressing like Y equals -4 to enter for the horizontal asymptote. So I don't know why it's not letting me. I mean, you can't see me type on the
That's true.
keyboard.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it let me type this, but I don't.
So type in -4 and then see if, and then can you type a y now
Let's see. No, I cannot.
to the right of the 4?
Yeah, it's not letting me.
Okay, yeah, that's a little odd. So occasionally you get this problem. For the first one, I would just because it doesn't matter. I would just check it.
Yeah, okay.
It's gonna tell you it's wrong, and then maybe it'll open up.
I don't know if I'll have to refresh it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what to suggest. This is like a technical problem. Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you have to you can copy and paste. I can't believe you can't enter a Y, but I've seen just about everything with these
Yeah, I
systems.
wonder if I do like Y equals, or on the lowercase. Hello?
There it is. Yeah, see if you can copy that in.
There we go.
All
Yeah,
right.
there we go. Perfect.
Okay, we can do one more here, and
Okay.
then we'll have to call it here. But let me grab a snip here. If you're gonna just scroll up, just right there is perfect. Got it. Okay. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so again, they're out of order. You know, that's just the way it is. So if you're like, hey, I'd rather do these on the bottom, you can. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter, but I know as a student, you want consistency.
Yeah.
This one does not have any x-intercepts. There's
Yes.
so this would be a none because it doesn't cross. And then the y-intercept is right there at -1, where it crosses the y-axis. Sometimes they even flip the x and the y-intercepts order, so just be aware of that.
Right.
The vertical asymptote is at x equals 5. It's the one that goes up and down like a column. The horizontal one is at y equals 0. That goes side to side. Now the domain and range are slightly different on this one. The domain is just like the previous one. Use that vertical asymptote as a break. So it goes from -infinity to 5, union 5 to infinity. I'll write this over here. Domain is from left to right.
Okay. To right.
Let me know when you're ready for the range.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So for the range, I wrote bottom to top, and some students prefer low to high. It's whatever you prefer, but you're generally starting at -infinity. Now, notice it goes up to, but it doesn't pass that horizontal asymptote. So it just stops at 0. It never goes higher than 0. That's the, and so sometimes it's min to max is even another one.
Yeah.
For that.
Okay. And wait, I'm trying to find where it says 5.
5.
For the domain, like
you have to type that number. Oh, that because of the vertical asymptote.
Oh, because it's the vertical asymptote. Okay.
So domain is associated, vertical asymptotes are associated with domain, and then the horizontal asymptotes are associated with range.
Range. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you get all this entered. I'd like to just share one more thing with you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, all of it is entered.
Great. So I'm going to send this to you as a PDF right after the lesson, usually within a few minutes. Sometimes I'm delayed. The screen recording takes until the next day because there's a Zoom delay and then there's a YouTube delay,
no
but
worries.
no big deal on that. More importantly, though, is here's how you schedule with me. You can do it from a phone or a mobile device. Just go to or computer, go to my website, tutoringbymatthew.com, which your mom has and you guys have from the emails. And then you just click on Meet with Matthew. And you choose the day and time that you want here. We're doing the traditional tutoring through Zoom, and they're 50-minute lessons. They're it's already a lot. You're getting a lot packed in, so don't worry about not getting the full hour. But just choose a date and time that works for you, and you just proceed from there with entering in your information and all that. So if you need a time that isn't available, if you're like, hey, I forgot, I've got 10 Alex topics due tonight, please text me. I'll try to do my best to accommodate you if there's a time that's not available for that. If you want a regular time each week, like, hey, Matthew, I want every Tuesday at 4, please also let me know, and then I can do it manually. But what I understood from your mom is she was probably going to ask you to do some scheduling, and she's just paying, which is how a lot of college students do it.
Right.
Whatever you want to do is fine with me. You've got my contact number. I'm here to help you and make sure you get through this class and move on from math.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So that is it for today. I will really appreciate you letting me helping you, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it so much. You've been a
You're
big
welcome.
help.
You're welcome. Thanks. I'll see you then. See you later. Okay.
I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.